So what music were you listening to before this interview?
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode. Shout out to Nico Noir, the magnificent Nico Noir. I think we're gonna do a whole show just on Depeche Mode. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Goddess Medusa, the rock star Domina. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk, of course, we're going to talk about being a Domina and kink and sex, but the wonderful creativity that comes out of this. And this is a good show. Please, everybody, bow down, show the utmost respect to Goddess Medusa. Say hi. How are you, Goddess Medusa?
Hi. Wow, besides the earthquake we just had here in Los Angeles, I felt everything kind of like moving, and the hurricane and the storm. Besides that, everything is great.
I hope you're safe.
I am.
You have to admit, that's pretty rock star of you to just stop in the middle of a hurricane to do my show. That is wonderful. Thank you. I'm honored. Yeah, it's pretty badass.
I am the storm. So.
Yes. Yes, that's the way to look at it. Yes.
I'm coming.
Goddess Medusa. I am the storm. Joe says hi, Nick, and hello, Goddess Medusa. Okay, so the magnificent Stan Vladimir. Greetings, Goddess Medusa. So I start out every show this way. This is a good question, I think. What's inspiring you these days?
I would say almost everything. Everything can inspire me, but I think I've been obsessed about podcasts recently, like watching people talking about their business or, I don't know, psychology, dating, relationships. I love watching podcasts and interviews in general.
Okay, who's inspiring you? Who do you like?
Ooh, there are so many. There's this guy called Dan Coe. I think he's the last one that I've been very obsessed about it. Like, I love the way that he talks about business and motivation in general. He's really good.
We'll talk about motivation. You are more than just a dominatrix. You are the rock. You perform live. You love music. You perform live and everything like that. So that takes a lot of courage. What made you realize that I could do this? I could, because it takes courage to get up on stage. It takes courage to sing and to perform. Just like it takes courage to do what you do as a dominatrix. So, where do you find that courage from?
Thinking that if I don't do things in this life, it's gonna pass by, and I'm not gonna try out things. I'm not a very fearless person. Like, I usually just go for it.
I'm the same way. I'm very. I don't know if you know my story, but I lived a very, very reckless life. I was a thrill seeker. A lot of sex, drugs, music, and just parties, and and people, and fun, and having no fear makes your life feel more alive, basically, which is a beautiful thing. Okay, BDSM, you are a rock star, but the dominant part. So, what are your specialties? There are dominants who have certain, specialize in certain things. Then they're what I call Jacqueline of all trades. How would you define how would you define yourself, kind
of? When I was training, I was trained to be more like authoritarian. But then after 1 year, I realized that wasn't really my style. So I would say I'm more like a sensual dom. And the things that I like doing the most are foot fetish, pegging, spanking, and I would say aftercare. I love aftercare.
Definitely. Okay, so all right, let's start with the foot fetish. Foot fetish, spanking, aftercare. I want to write this down somewhere. Yes, I'm gonna put it in quotes. Foot fetish, spanking, aftercare. I use the internet as one big database. It's just a stuff place for my stuff, like George Carlin. So when I write this up, I'm gonna put that in. Please remind me. Ruben Avella says, "Hello, my goddess."
Ruben. Hi. Good to see you here.
So let's start with the foot fetish. What is it about the foot fetish? I was at a party, let's say, and there was a newbie there, and he's a young man. We're talking, and you know, I love being at them, very comfortable. I know a lot of people, stuff like that, and all he wanted to do was just to be subservient and just rub a woman's foot, worship a woman's foot, But you can't. You have to be respectful. You can't just go up to people and ask. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you deal with people who approach you, or when someone comes to you as a client, as a friend, um, and they want to do that? How do you approach that? What do you
I
do?
think depends on the context.
Okay.
If I have someone coming to my Instagram inbox saying I wanna give you a foot massage, and then
Through
wow,
Instagram.
yeah, I get a lot of messages like that. So I'll be like, wow, let's see if we are in the same page, right? Where are you right now? Why do you want to do that? And where? And, you know, what's
If
your
any
intentions?
if anyone out there gets off from an Instagram foot massage, please contact us. Let us know. Let us know your side. Yeah, let's talk about it. Stan, we'll get to foot fetish, pegging, and then aftercare. We're gonna hit all three. Remind me, please. Remind me how to conduct my own interview.
Guys, remind him.
Okay. Stan Vladimir says, "What is your inspiration to become a rock star, and what was your inspiration to become a dominatrix?" So good. It's like, there's certain people who do it for you, who says, "Oh, I could do that," or give me the confidence that I could do that too. So who are those people in your life? Let's start with the music. Who are the people that inspired you there?
So my parents used to take me to rock concerts since I was like 9 years old. My first concert was Dave Bowie in Rio.
Wow.
And it was
David
a
Bowie in
great
Rio.
first concert. Yes.
Hell yeah.
It was like a very good introduction to the rock scene. So I would say seeing David Bowie performing and watching Labyrinth,
Labyrinth is an amazing movie.
that was
Amazing
like,
performance by
okay,
him.
that is a thing that I think I want to do.
And you're from Rio?
I'm from Rio.
I'm blaming it on Rio. I always wanted to go. Okay, what about dominatrix wise? What are there's certain people who inspired you? Maybe people you know, maybe people who are famous. Just who are the people? Who is someone who inspired you to go down the route of the dominatrix route?
So I think that my mentor was a person that kind of brought out that side of me. I didn't know. I kind of knew, but I didn't at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So he was looking for girls to train to be doms, and then of course that he was trying to see the potential, and then he told me that he saw the potential in me, and yeah, I think he was the first person that brought that to me, and I started training and really liking the world of domination. And then when I started looking for material online, I saw Damiana Chi. I don't know if you guys know her. She's a very popular dom in Los Angeles, and I really liked the way that she was talking about BDSM and the archetypes that she created and everything. And that was one of the things that also motivated me to become a dom.
All right, thank you very much, Stan, for that question. We got some more questions here. Gary123, do you like barefoot ball busting?
I do. I just had a session this week with barefoot ball busting.
Aditya says, hello, mistress. I very much admire your music. How do you incorporate you into the session? Please share some great ideas with us. I was thinking the same thing. That was a couple. I have a bunch of questions about this, but Aditya started it off. So, do you use your own music into the session?
Not really. Sometimes.
Okay. I was thinking, do you ever ruin songs, or do you ever play music during your sessions specifically
Always.
to get a reaction out, because it sets the tone. There's the romantic tone, there's the dangerous tone, there's a cultural tone you could choose, you know. But there's also a tone that you know it will make them uncomfortable. So, do you ever use that? Do you ever
Yeah.
use certain music to specifically to make the other person uncomfortable?
Mm, yes, I would say yes. When they ask me to be humiliated, I usually play some funny songs and ask them to sing or dance for me.
Oh, really? Okay. What songs? Now I have a picture in my head. What songs they're playing?
Usually Michael Jackson,
Okay.
because it's very hard to not move your body listening to Michael
Interesting.
Jackson. And
Yeah.
it's kind
Thank you,
of
Quincy Jones.
funny at the same time.
I'm kidding. Yeah, of course. Definitely. Definitely. Okay, so let's get back into the music. So, songs are inspirational, you know, and you have a certain set of songs that you choose when you sing. Um, we were talking also about confidence. What songs inspire you to be who you are, basically? You know, what are some certain specific songs that really do it for you? That
Mm, I would say more like uplifting rock,
okay,
like AC/DC, or
yeah,
some like dark rock, like the Mode, Nine Inch
hmm
Nails. I love Hailstorm, which is a kind of new band, but they have like a good classic rock um, inspiration there, like in the guitar solos, and her voice is very raspy. So I would say like she, like when I see myself like performing, I see someone that would do something similar to Liz Hale, which is the leader of the group.
Joe asks, what is the name on Apple Music? What is your name on Apple Music?
I don't use Apple Music.
There
You
you
might
go.
find my band there, but not like a profile.
And what? Please tell us about your band.
I'm not in the band anymore, but the name of the band is Trapped in Static.
Okay. Trapped in Statics. All right. And okay, a lot of
Hailstorm.
a
Do you
lot of the
want to?
stuff that you do. Yeah, Joe says Hailstorm. A lot of the things you do are covers, right? You did Time After Time, Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. Very. I, I'm friends with many Dominas, and that song hits. They literally love that song as well. I love that song. It's a popular song. What other songs you want to cover that you haven't yet?
I think some Melissa Etheridge, because I love
Really?
her voice. Yeah. I love the way that she sings.
Stan Vladimir says, "Have you listened to Evanescence and Dorothy?"
Yes, I love Evanescence.
Lizzie Hale is beyond amazing.
She is.
Chris Baker says, "Hi there, nice to meet you, Goddess Medusa."
Nice to meet you, Chris.
Definitely. And okay, what songs? So, what music would you play? Let's go down the list with what music would you play for? You did the silly thing, the Michael Jackson, making him sing dance. But what are some other tracks that, or other things that you play for specific kind of sessions? Because sometimes, would you say like you have a sadistic session, you know, then you know, or you have a more pleasant session that's more kind of mental. You know, there's always a different kind of sessions. Do you have specific music for those types of sessions? And what are
I
they?
don't change it that much, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, I usually put music that makes me feel like good in the vibe, and I ask them like, do you mind if I play music? I work better when I'm listening to music, and they all say yes, yes, mistress, of course. But I usually listen to A Perfect Circle or Nine Inch Nails, The Mode. Sometimes 80s, like I had a sub 2 weeks ago that he said, I love 80s. I was like, oh, let's listen to some 80s. Why not?
Depeche Mode. Now, there is someone who's very special to this show named Nico Noir, who I personally think is one of the biggest Depeche Mode fans I've ever met. What songs just for her, I'm asking, what songs from Depeche Mode do you love the most?
Precious.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
Okay. And then Joe asks, what's your favorite Hailstrom song? I'm a big Hailstrom fan if you haven't figured it out, she says.
I think Do Not Disturb.
Do Not Disturb. Okay.
It's a very
So,
sexual song.
okay, what was on the list? We did foot fetish, right? And then now we do pegging. All right. Some people think pegging, right? Do you realize? Do you ever get the feeling that when you're pegging that it takes a lot out of you? Like it's exercise. It's a lot of work, don't you think?
Yes.
You know. So how did you get into like your very first time as a dominatrix? What was that like?
Terrified about
Really?
it because I didn't have much experience with. Can I say words here?
Yeah.
Anal?
You what? Okay.
Not like receiving or giving. My experience was almost zero.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this is not for me. But then my mentor said something that helped me a lot to go through it, which was like, well, you're pansexual, you have sex with girls, right? I was like, yes. So he was like, it's a whole kind of similar when you're having sex with a girl and you're using a strap-on. How do you feel about it? You have to warm up, you have to, make sure the size is the right size. So first time I had a pegging session, I went there with this mentality, like it's just like kind of having sex with a girl, but it's a guy, and the context is different, and that helped me. Like, and I, I really like it. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, definitely. And so you were talking about the mentor. How did that come about? Tell us that story. You don't because first of all, you don't just find a mentor. Did you seek a mentor out? Did they seek you out? Was it just
No.
like kismet?
My story is kind of funny, but I realized that other doms had similar stories. I was
Okay,
looking
tell us
for
this.
a job on Craigslist.
Okay. And where were you? In Los Angeles?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I saw this post saying like, we are looking for no-count models. I was like, oh, okay, what is that? And then I sent an email, and they replied saying, look, we can do a video call so we can explain to you what that is about. I was like, wow, okay, let's go. And then I had a video call with this girl that was working with him. She's a dom. She was in Boston and she was explaining me how it works. I was like, wow, I'm very interested. Like, this sounds like something that I would do. It's kind of like scary, but I'm very, very curious about it. So my ex-boyfriend was so worried about like, you're not going to anybody's place like by yourself. I was like, okay, let's do this. You take me there. You wait for me outside. If you don't see me for the next hour, you can call the cops. And then he dropped me off there. It was like a regular place. It was just like an apartment in LA, close to Beverly Hills. And there was this 68 years old man with this beautiful dungeon inside his apartment. He was like, well, I've been doing this for my whole life. I train girls to be doms. This is my dungeon. And if you feel like this is for you, you can start working with me. I was like, wow, okay, I don't know how this works, but if you're telling me this is how it works, I'm down, let's see.
Yeah.
In the beginning, like, he was asking me to do things just to test my courage. And I was like, I don't think I can do these things. He was like, can you spit on my face? I was like, no, why would I do that? He was like, okay, I don't think you're ready. So,
Okay. Yeah. Who you spit in my face? I don't think you do that. Yeah, you're not ready.
you're not ready. So he asked me if I could.
I can picture the scene in my head. It's out of a movie.
Yeah, it was funny, but it was like, I think it was the right thing for me at least. Like, he asked me if I would be okay to play with him as a sub, so I could see how it feels being a sub first.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, let's do it. Like I had a safe word. I told him my limitations, like about my back pain and everything. So he tried out many things with me, and I kept being comfortable in my subspace. I didn't say anything. I was like, that's so weird because I was always like more alpha and more dominant in some way, but I'm just letting this stranger like put me in this sub space in this pet place, and I'm okay with that. And then for almost like 1 month, I was just doing all these things he was asking me to do, like suck his toes and be flogged and facing the wall for hours. And that moment, like doing this for like almost 1 month, actually made me think about myself. Like, how can I just be comfortable here? I'm not comfortable, but I'm not saying anything about it. So I realized that I was a very passive person, and I didn't want to be that person anymore. So one day I came back there and was like, I'm done with this shit. I don't want to be the sub anymore.
Yeah.
I'm ready to take my power back and try out these things on you. He was like, okay, let's see. And this is how it started.
Wow, wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's quite a journey. Okay, so and that eventually led to pegging. We have to hit that. We're on a schedule. We have to hit that in the journey of this interview. Wow. Okay. So do you ever now? Are you thinking of? Do you work with fellow doms? How do you connect? How do you keep? How do you get more? How do you keep it going? Basically, I mean, what's the scene out there like?
Well, after 1 year, I stopped working with my mentor. I decided to be an independent dom. So I met this guy that is one of my best friends now. That he was running this poly kinky play parties, and he brought me to this world, and he introduced me to a lot of other doms, and he took me to like a dungeon tour in LA so I could find like a good dungeon for me to bring my clients and have my sessions. And I started like meeting a lot of people through him, and I went to DomCon this year.
Oh,
It
nice.
was amazing. It was
In
like
LA?
an amazing experience. Yes,
In LA, nice.
at the Hilton Hotel. Like the classes were so good. Like
What's your favorite one?
It was this. I think you guys call it like round table, like when everybody sits like in a circle and they share their experience. So it was kind of like a psychological conversation, like how did you heal your traumas through kinky, or how did you get into the scene, or whatever experience you want to share. Like, and everybody was kind of almost like crying and getting emotional. It was really beautiful.
It is. There are moments like that, and a lot of them are happening these days too, where I'm at kink parties or kink events or stuff like that, specifically around here. You know who you are, and there's a sense of we're in it kind of together. Kinky people find a way. We're in it together. Okay, so sadism. What are some of the? Okay, so now you're a dominatrix. People want you to hurt them, right? So it's life's a little different now, right? So, what are some things that you find yourself being sadistic in your everyday life?
I hope you guys don't get that mad at me.
Oh no!
If you live in LA.
No. You don't understand. These are masochists. They want to be mad at you. They want to feel bad.
In case you're not a masochist, if we are driving together, like I don't drive, so my friends are always driving. But
Already, that's symbolic. You have everybody drive for you.
I have
Yes,
everybody
you're the
driving
rock star
for me.
dominant. You're the rock star dominant.
I love seeing people struggling to find parking in LA. This is something that gets me like in a unstoppable laugh. Because I know they get so frustrated about it, and they start like cursing, and I cannot stop laughing. It's like, I don't drive. Good luck.
So that's going to be the quote, I think. Stop laughing. I cannot. I love people seeing frustrated finding parking in LA.
I love that.
Sadism.
It's one of my favorite.
No, I
things.
do. It works. No, when I'm in New Jersey, right? I'm in New Jersey, and it's very congested. It's not like it's just a different kind of congested than LA.
I
Let's
live
put it
in
that
New
way.
Jersey,
What part?
in Newark.
Newark. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm familiar. Shout out to the artifacts and the yeah, and the outsiders, Red Man, all them, and rest in peace, Hurricane G. Yeah. So I'm from that. So but when people get mad, road rage, I just laugh at them. So it's funny that you say, like that's the thing, because you can't do it. I even point. I'm like, it's just because there's nothing they can do. Okay, sissification. You do sissification too, right?
I am.
Now, let me ask you this: there's like a spectrum of sissification. Sometimes there's the proper on one end of the spectrum, and then there's the dirty slut at the other end of the spectrum. Where does yours fall? What more towards?
Ooh, I like both, but I do love teaching a man how to be feminine.
Really? Why
How
is that?
to wear heels, how to put on makeup, how to dance, how to be delicate, how to be charming, how to pick some lingerie. I love when guys send me pictures wearing lingerie. That is a turn on for me.
Really? Okay. A lot of
Yes.
people, because they sure love sending them to you. But
I love
you know
that.
what I mean. But there's many people do not like that. Many women do not like that. What is it about that specifically? Do you like? What is it? The power? Is it the image? Is it the fact that they're turned on by it? The fact that they feel pretty or proud, or that makes them just feel like
This is
what is it
one
that
of
you
the
like about it?
things. Yeah, I think it's seeing a man feeling comfortable to be himself with me. That is something that makes me feel so happy. To be like, just be whatever you want to be right now. And the fact that I'm pansexual and I don't have this separation, like this gender separation, like since
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid, I think I never had, to be honest. So I like seeing the blend, like girls being having like a more masculine energy or guys being more feminine. This is something that I really like admire
Yeah.
when they feel comfortable to just be like that.
No, I understand. I'm a cross-dresser myself. I'm wearing panties as we speak. Yeah. And yeah, last night I was. Check this out. Last night at the dungeon, I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but yeah, I was on the cross in chastity with garter belts and stocking, and I was flogged, and I wasn't the only person, in the room like that. It was wonderful, wonderful. So I try to embrace the feminine side of me as much as I try to find the balance of it, and just to kind of let go and enjoy and just be who I am, I guess. Does that make sense? Is that fair? Is it?
How was for you the first time you realized you liked that?
It was terrifying, but exciting at the same time. Like we were talking about thrill seeking, right? And kind of, it was like that too. It was naughty. It was bad. I was good at being bad. You know what I mean? And plus, a lot of it dealt with dominant women in my life. I was like a record store kid. I loved punk rock kids. I was a punk rock kid and then a raver and stuff like that. So dominant women were always part of that. So when any woman would put me in panties or anything like that, or did anything like that, it was a turn on. It was an incredible turn on. I absolutely loved it. But I also, like you said, it's that bond, right? You find great pleasure out of the fact that they're comfortable with you. I cherish that as well. The fact
Yes.
that I found somebody who could do it with. I personally don't do it alone that much, but I do it for someone who actually enjoys me doing it.
Aw.
That's the beauty of it, you know. Shout out to Sunshine. Okay, let's go. Let's kick it. Now, how can we explore feminization, sissification without degrading womanhood?
I think this is more like I think that the man that is subbing is gonna tell you what he doesn't want to do, or he doesn't want you to call him as a certain name, because that is gonna harm his manhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like it depends. Some men, they don't want to be called as slutty or my bitch. Some men, they want that. They don't feel like they are less men when they are called this way by a mistress in that specific moment, you know. So I think it's more like a shift, it's like something they choose. It's not. It's like there's no like general answer to give to you, because I think it really depends on how the person feels.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So we got to role play. We have a question here from a fan. What is your favorite role play? I mean, there are so many different kinds. What would you say your favorite is?
In my lifestyle or when I'm working?
Both.
Both.
A two-part answer. It's great.
I like imagining, if this is not like something that it was spoken about it before the session, I like imagining that my subs are like fans that wanted to sub to me after a show.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But I like in my lifestyle, like playing professor and student a lot, and stepsister and stepbrother. It's a big turnout for me.
Interesting. Okay. So you're in lifestyle. Are you with? Are you in a polyamorous relationship or a monogamous relationship?
Poly.
You're in a poly relationship. Okay. How do you find time for everybody? 'Cause time is current. Attention is currency these days. You know. Well, all it is all the time. How do you find time for everybody?
You don't get many partners if you don't have time for them. Like in
That's
this
true.
moment, I don't have any partners right now,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't like get more than 2 or 3 if I don't have time for them, or if they need more time than I actually can give to them.
You don't get many partners if you don't have time for them.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. If you don't have time for them.
Unless they don't mind being like distant partners, you know.
Yeah. No, that's true. But like you, even then, you have to spend your attention on them.
Right.
You know, and the world is wild. I'm sure you feel this way. You're being pulled at every angle by many different people. Like people want your attention. You know what I mean? All right. So we have some questions here. Aditya says some innovative or interesting kink that you have done recently.
What you think? I'm always learning something new from my clients. Ah. I don't know.
Let's put it this way. What is interesting you? What is interesting to you? In other words, in the sense that like something you want to try. I'm into stuff that I never thought I'd be into. 10 years ago.
I think water sports, I think it was
Really?
kind of, the last thing that surprised me, because I didn't know that I was going to like it, and I really did.
Really? So the first time tell us about the first time you pissed on someone.
Actually, the first time I played water sports, I didn't pee on the person, but the person was like, I really want to drink your pee. I was like, okay. I grabbed my cup of coffee.
Okay.
I was like, pee inside a cup of coffee, and I gave it to him like, here we go. This is good morning. This is your coffee.
The best part of waking up is Folgers and Medusa's pee in your cup. All right. Joe says, "Do you cover Who Knew by Pink with your band? If so, you have a great voice, Goddess Medusa."
I did. You can see on my channel.
Okay. And what is your channel? Please promote your channel.
It's Amy Starger.
Okay.
My stage name as musician.
All right. Stan Vladimir asks, "What are your turn-ons and turn-offs in the sessions? Is there something that just kills it for a session for you?"
When they are too bratty.
Really? Okay.
I like very obedient subs.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. What do you do with a bratty sub? Someone's acting bratty,
I lose my patience.
and that leads to what?
To an angry mistress.
Okay, we got a question here. What is the most brutal thing that you've done recently? In your opinion. Brutal anything. In your opinion, what is brutal?
In a session or in general?
Yes, in a session. Well, you get that's interesting too.
Well, if it was a emotion, it was more like a emotional thing. Emotional. I had a autistic sub that couldn't talk to me that much because he had some speaking problems. So we had to like negotiate everything through email to make sure that I wasn't going to cross his boundaries, and that was brutal for me to. It was brutal, but at the same time, it was very like. It made me feel like happy in some way to be able to deliver this to someone that has fantasies too, but it made me feel like it was brutal for me seeing the person couldn't speak to me and talk to me, and seeing like how hard their lives can be when they need to communicate.
Ruben Avila asks, "Do any clients ever build an attachment to you, Medusa?"
I don't think so. I had a lifestyle sub that got very attached, and then I had to cut him off because it was too much for me. Yeah, it happens to all of us.
Yeah, definitely. And Aditya asks, "Longest session that you have done?"
I think it was a trampoline one.
Okay.
He didn't want me to stop. It was so exhausting. Like I think.
How long was it?
2-3 hours non-stop, really stepping on his face.
Okay, the next thing we did foot, and then we did pegging. Right, we were not done with pegging. So, how would you approach someone the very first time they're going to be pegged? Now, if they come to you and they ask you, or do you suggest it to them?
I would suggest then to buy a plug or like a toy and play at home by themselves first. I think they need to explore their bodies first. So I would say get this toy, get a plug, play at home or with your fingers. And then after feeling comfortable with that and knowing what makes you feel aroused by that, we can talk again, and then I can make sure I'm gonna bring the right size dildo, and I'm gonna, be careful because it has to be good and painful, but good at the same time. I don't want to make people like bleed or not walk next day unless they want that.
There's a lot of I've been noticing people in chastity. The men have to wear strap-ons and peg like their lovers, while they're in chastity, so they don't get any pleasure at all. That is always a thing. Do you now when it comes to pegging, right? size? Do you like the size? Do you like the hurts? Do you like or do you like the pleasure aspect of giving pleasure to someone, or do you like the intimidating aspect of it more?
I like intimidating first, but then when they start mourning,
Hmm.
that's when I get like, ooh,
Oh, yeah, that's when you put the bond in. Bond, it just gets special, right?
I feel
Yeah.
like,
It
I
takes.
feel
There's an
good.
intimacy to that. There's an intimacy to putting a strap-on dildo on and fucking someone in their ass. There is, you only should really do it with people you trust and that you have
Yeah.
that bond with, and it says a lot. That says a lot. So okay, so we did the pegging. Now for the aftercare, right? Or any session, not just for pegging session, but any session. It can get very intense, and you go into subspace. So how do you? What is your technique for aftercare? And I'm going to put you so just so you are on the screen. I'll bring you right back. So what is your technique for after?
Oh, I can't hear you anymore.
I'm here.
Okay. Um, I think that talking about how they are feeling it's very important. So I usually see. I ask them like to lay down on my lap. I'm very like caring and affectionate. I like giving some head scratches and asking, "How are you feeling? How was that for you? Do you feel like trying again, or was that something that wasn't that great for you? What was the highlight of the session? Do you need some water?" I love giving hugs too, hugs and head scratches, and talking and asking how they are feeling.
Hugs and head scratches. I'm gonna write that down. Hugs and head scratches. Yeah, and yet you love laughing at people getting frustrated in LA trying to find LA parking. So you're finding the balance between sadism and masochism right there.
Right.
All right, so shall we daydream for a second? Let's say you have endless resources, endless space. You can go anywhere you want with anyone you want. You could build your ultimate rock star femdom fantasy. Where do you go? What do you do?
I don't know if it's gonna sound that exciting, but I would love
That's
to go to Greece with a group of slaves just like worshiping me in those beautiful
that sounds
islands.
awesome.
Oh my god, and giving me some pita and hummus,
Ah,
feeding me
yes,
and giving me like foot massage,
that
listening to
sounds
some Greek
wonderful.
music. That is beautiful. I love the Greek culture.
Yes, me too. Me too. I I love spanakopita specifically.
Me too. Oh my god, Greek food is so good.
Okay, we got some questions. Hi, what is your webpage link?
It's the rockstardomina.com.
Yes, the rockstardownnet.com. Stan Vladimir. Here's the Stan question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be, and how will you use it in your kink life?
Ooh, I wish I had more hands.
Really? Why is that? Please explain.
So I could make them feel more things at the same time. Can you imagine having like 100 hands pinching you, slapping you, pulling your hair, tickling, a lot of different sensations. That would be kind of like creepy, but
So, but you used a certain word. You wish you had more hands so you could blank more things at the same time? So you could, what, feel more things? So you could touch more things?
I would love to make them feel like really overwhelmed with different sensations.
Yeah. All right. Nice. Thank you, Stan, for your wonderful question. Man asks, what is the longest and most brutal whipping session you have done?
Uh, it wasn't with a whip, it was with a cane.
Okay.
So this guy asked me to tie him up and cane his little guy
Okay.
non-stop. And he was so hard, and I was really hitting him hard for like a long time.
In the testicles or the actual shaft?
Not in the balls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in
Ow.
the stick.
Yeah,
On
in
the
the stick. Yes. Okay.
He was getting all like bleedy,
Mm-hmm.
but he was loving it. I was like,
Really?
let's go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. We did that. The other fantasy. All right. Word association game. All right. I'm gonna say a kink or a fetish. You say the first word that comes to your head. Okay. So there's no wrong. There's no wrong answer. This is absurd. This is an absurd game. It really is. So, if I say chastity, you might say lock. Right. But let's say you're thinking of Depeche Mode. If I say chastity and you're thinking of Depeche Mode, you can say Depeche Mode. You can say personal Jesus. There's no wrong answer. Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. Ropes.
Connection.
Okay. Chastity.
That's hot.
Thigh-high stockings.
Stockings.
Thigh-high stockings.
Sensual. Being sensual.
Strap-on dildos.
I get so wet.
Really?
I do.
Really? Okay.
When
And
I wear it, then I feel like almost like there is something missing on me.
really?
Yeah, like it's something that was supposed to be part of me.
Interesting. And what is that? How does that make you feel when you have it? When you finally have it? What do you want to do?
More complete. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I would love to have a dick for real.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of strap-ons. It kind of gives you, the feeling of it for a while.
Can I tell you something interesting?
Please.
Like,
Please do.
I always had a very good relationship and connection with men in general. Maybe because I spent more time with my dad in my childhood, so I built this trust with men. I don't know. So I remember like having boyfriends and male friends like telling me like how they feel when they see a girl passing by, and I started like training my brain to put myself in a man's body to see how I feel when I see a girl, and I started like feeling different, like I had a dick, like I can almost feel like I have a dick getting hard when I see a hot girl. That's why I feel like I would love to have a dick. And I can. I have it sometimes, which is great.
That's great, yeah. When I see a hot girl. That's a good quote, too. All right, so music-wise, right? You're a fan of music. I want to play the same word association game with you, but with music. I'm going to say an artist. You say the first thing that comes to your head, okay?
Okay.
All right. First thing, there's no wrong answer. Okay? All right. Depeche Mode.
Dancing.
Cyndi Lauper.
Singing.
9 Inch Nails.
Sex.
Hailstrom.
Playing guitar.
Michael Jackson.
Performing.
Okay. Performer? Yeah, no, he is a performer. Definitely. Without a doubt.
Because
Okay.
my band used to play Michael Jackson too. No, in a rock
What song?
version.
What version? What
Billie
song?
Jean.
Billie Jean. Okay. All right. All right. And what's your what's going on musically with you now?
So I was streaming a VR platform. I was streaming live music. I'm not anymore. I just decided to
Right.
be more focused in my dom stuff now.
Really? Why is
Yeah.
that?
I I don't know. I think part of that decision was because the salary changed. But I think it was, yeah, I think I'm really into like developing more my Dom stuff and my OnlyFans and yeah, making more content with that.
What would you like to be known for as a dom? Because there are doms who are just doms, and they kind of do whatever, and then there are doms that have a specialty, like a style. You know what I mean? They kind of have a brand in a way. What are you going for besides the rock star dominant?
Besides that, I think
Like fetish wise.
Fetish wise, because I would say I love educating people. I love when new kinksters come to me like, can we talk about this? I feel weird about it. I don't know how to tell my partner about this kink that I have. So I do love being the one that people come to me and share stuff. So I'll be like always like the rock star, the kind of like the badass, but at the same time the very caring dom.
Yes, that makes a difference. I am. It's funny that you say that. There's a woman, the magnificent Mistress Shari. I'm at her place right now. We're having a pool party. I'm in the office, and she loves new people. She loves the light bulb moment, so to speak, and being someone, and that's what I try to be too. I try to be a person who's helpful. I was at a dungeon party yesterday, and there's a couple newbies there, and I'm a person who could, like, they'll ask questions, I'll point them in the right direction with happiness. You know what I mean? Try to make it fun. So that's people like you, people with that attitude. That's what the kink community needs, and that's what I think is going to keep us out there, keep us going.
Without this community here in LA, I think I wouldn't be living here anymore.
If it wasn't for what? If it wasn't for the community?
BDSM community here.
Oh, without a doubt. So how would you describe the BDSM community in LA? What words would you use?
I think, like, of course, all communities have problems and they are
of course.
Not perfect.
Yeah, everybody, there's always a bad person at a party.
Right. But they are very, very welcoming, very sweet, caring, creative. They are like a family. I guess like all BDSM communities kind of feel like that. I think this is one of the basis things to build a community is like to feel welcoming and feel like it's a family. Yeah, and I feel like people here in LA, in this community, they are different than the rest of people. I think like they are not the egocentric like the other people here. They are very accepting. They were very, very welcoming to me. The fact that I have an accent and I'm not from here and I'm a new dom, they were always amazing to me to help me with everything that I needed to build my brand and to find like the parties and the dungeons. Without them, I don't think I would be here, honestly.
I feel the same way. I mean, after my health issues, I had a liver transplant, and it seems like there's always problems. And if it wasn't for the kink community, I don't think I'd be here either. So thank you. All the kinky people out there, thank you very, very much. And some more thoughts. Have you tried using a Fildo?
What is that?
Oh, you don't know what a Fildo is? Let's look. Let's see if I get a picture of it.
Maybe I know with the Portuguese word.
A Portuguese word?
Yeah.
A Fildo. It's like think about it. It's like how can I describe it? A Fildo. Stop Fildo. It's like for pegging, basically. You can put it inside you. It's not it doesn't strap around you.
Oh.
Yeah, like.
Oh, it's like a toy that goes inside a girl but has a. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I
you've seen
never
those.
tried it out.
Oh no, they're great. I highly suggest it. Definitely. So Stan Vladimir says, "What are your thoughts on medical play? Have you had a session like that?"
Not for me.
Chris Bako says, "I have been involved with the LAOC scene for decades, and it's great." Thanks, Chris. That's awesome. Chris, keep it lively out there. Keep the scene alive. Thanks, Chris. Robin, I still love your Brazilian accent. I love your Brazilian accent.
Aw, thank you.
Wonderful. 2 questions. Where are you from originally? And can you talk about cross-dressing sissy sessions? Okay. So, where are you from originally?
I'm from Rio, Brazil.
Yes. We did address that, but cross-dressing sissy sessions. Now, you said you love it, and that's wonderful, but let's take us through it. Let's say, hypothetically, I'm new to it. I have a love for cross-dressing and sissification. I do. I'm proud of it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, not everybody is. So they're scared. They've never done it with anybody. They don't know, but they find you. Luckily, they found you. So what do you do? What's the first thing you do?
I asked them what did trigger them to start liking it. Like it was like a video you watched, or was just something that came out. I don't know, watching like someone else, watching your partner being feminine, I don't know. And then I try to find things inside that context to explore. So if they say like, because I see you, mistress, being all feminine and powerful, and I want to dress up like you. So, okay, let's go. Let's look for some leather tops, or let's try out some eyeliners or some lipstick, or I don't know. You know, like I just try to find a context that would feel it would make more sense for them. Some guys, they are more into like lingerie or panties.
Yes.
So, for example, I had a sub that he was teaching me how to drive, and I know he's very, very into panties. So I asked him to wear panties for me while he was teaching me how to drive. And I was like, how are you feeling right there? Can you feel your... He loves the way that it feels in the skin. So I was like, are you feeling good with the panties?
I can attest to that. Yeah.
Your skin?
Yes.
Or ask them to show me. Can you show me your panties? I want to see it. In the middle of the driving class, like, beautiful.
Nice. Okay. So, what does do you bring chastity into play when it comes to the sissification play?
I don't play that much with chastity.
Okay.
It's not like one of my favorite things.
But the sissification, does it all eventually lead to pegging?
No.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very... I'm glad that you brought that up, because it's a big misconception that, once I put on women's clothing or something like that, I'm going to be locked in chastity and pegged all day long, every day, for the rest of my life. Like, it's not like that. It's that's the fantasy.
Want to.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's gonna force you. Nobody's supposed to force you to do anything you don't want to.
No, but it's the narrative that comes across in porn, basically. That's the, you know what I mean? It's the kiss.
They are trying to explore the most visual they can, right? So if
I
you
also
can
think
do everything in a scene, that would be more fun.
I also think it's a sense of pushing pushing extremities, the limits, pushing the limits. Is like doing stuff that I would not do, or that I would, actually don't want to do, and that it could include sucking cock. That it could include getting pegged. It could include being in chastity for long periods of time. You know what I mean? Nice. Findelap says, I'm from Mexico. Chris Bakos, our LA connection, Chris Bakos is saying, Brazil has the best scene in Latin America, followed by Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, and Chile.
You mean like a rock scene or kinky scene?
I think he's talking about the kink scene.
I think it's so small.
But in Mexico, Argentina? In Brazil? In Brazil. Oh, no. Okay. Have you ever trampled a male with your full weight? Yes, the answer is yes.
Foot nights.
So what's your foot nights? Explain a foot night. What are
You never heard about the foot nights?
No, for your foot. No, your foot nights.
My foot nights?
Yeah. Tell us what foot nights are.
Okay, they have a food nights. They run this event like in different cities in the United States. It's not me, but they invite some models to go, like around 30 models, and I usually sign up for that because I love food nights. And yeah, you can come and pick the models you want to hang out with and have some sessions with them.
Really? And how long does that go for you? Like, if you're one of the foot people, the people who are in their foot worship, they're modeled.
It's
How?
usually they pay for like 10 minutes. There's like a flat rate. So yeah, everybody's
Oh, it's
supposed
just
to pay that amount for 10 minutes. If you want more, you can extend.
Finlop says I spent 3 4 days, 3 nights 4 days cross dressed, but had no fetishy element, no chastity, punishment, etc. Would you do a session like that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, definitely. And Stan Vladimir, have you ever collaborated with other mistresses?
One time only. It was like when I was training.
Oh, okay. Nothing like incredibly memorable. Anything
No,
happened? Would you do it again?
not yet. I co-domed a sub in my lifestyle. It wasn't professional.
Oh, okay. Do you author foot worship sessions? We went over that. If I book you, would you trample me with your full weight?
Of course.
Of course. It was nice. All right, Goddess Medusa, it's been an absolute pleasure. So, you're leaning more towards the you're going on your dom journey basically right now. But you're gonna still. I hope you do still continue to keep the music, keep the rhythm in you, so to speak. Oh, I have a suggestion, a request, so to speak. Like I said, I'm at Mr. Shari's office, and we're having a party, a pool party downstairs. And I told her that you're the rock star domino, and would you ever cover, because you are a domino, would you ever cover "She Works Hard for the Money" by Donna Summer?
Yeah.
Do it. That's a request. That's a request of the kid community.
It's a
Yeah,
good
for
song.
all. Yeah, damn right. Especially dominatrixes, for all the professionals out there. It's dead, and that's another thing. People, they work hard for their money, so pay up. Serious. Okay. What is your Insta? What is
The
your Insta?
Rockstar
Yes,
Dominant.
the Rockstar Dominant. How else can we get in touch with you? What's the best way? Instagram, Twitter? Because it seems like platforms are being, shut down, or just people are changing left and right. Where are you right now? What's the best way? Places.
Instagram is the best.
Instagram.
OnlyFans.
Okay.
Because we have to be careful on Instagram because they can read and track the inbox messages. So sometimes I want to keep the conversation very kinky,
Oh, yeah.
but I can't. I already lost 4 Instagram accounts
Really? Just from that?
in
Oh,
1 year.
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm doing this show, so people can connect. Because there's gonna time when people are not gonna be connecting through Instagram. So there's also, do you have a FetLife account or a FetLife
I
or
do.
Twitter?
I don't
What is
use
that?
my fat life that much, but I do have Twitter. It's Goddess Medusa 88, and yeah, I think that OnlyFans is the best place to go a little deeper with the
Okay.
pictures and the conversation to
All right. And
avoid getting banned.
definitely. So on that note, you know, we're on this road. We're all on this journey in this kinky lifestyle. Where do you want your journey to take you next?
Ooh. I really want to build this. I have some plans. Like, I've been thinking about what I want to do with the things that I know. And I'm thinking about building this kind of like a dating, kinky dating school for men in LA.
Hell yeah.
But not only to educate them about sex, but to help them to be more confident and For that, you need to learn a lot of different things, like how to dress up, how to cook to impress your partner, how to clean, how to shop groceries. Like, there are some men, they don't know how to do these things.
Yeah.
You know?
I think of it this way. I think that people should be self-sufficient and have something to offer, even if it's just, you know, attention and emotion, and it's genuine, you know. But self-sufficient is being very, like, that means being able to dress nice, being able to keep a job, a car, a place to live, you know.
How to read people, how to take them to the nice spots, how to
Definitely.
text the girls.
Yeah, yeah. There's a class. There's a class at there's a dungeon that you know, I'm all there. I'm there all the time. Mischief Manor, and we have a class. One of the main classes is don't be a dick. It's just basic etiquette, you know, in the dungeon, in the kink community. I think everybody should, you know about it. Just basically don't be a dick. Be kind. Simply, you start off kind so you could be consensually mean.
Yeah.
With that note, Goddess Medusa. Okay, so we're gonna expect you. Any last words? Any final thing you'd like to say to everybody out there?
Just don't feel bad about your kinks. Never. Don't let anyone make you feel weird about it. Oh my God. And if you feel weird about it, text me on Instagram. We can talk.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And with that, thank you so much, Goddess Medusa. You've been an absolute pleasure. You have been an inspiration to everybody watching, and I hope when people watching this, they'll be inspired too. And have that confidence to go out and to be kinky. Have that confidence to go out and sing like you do. Find people, find musicians. But even if you want to put panties on, put panties on. If you want to flog somebody, get their consent, but flog away. You know. Everybody, this is Nicholas Tanek. Follow me on Twitter at Nicholas Tanek. Go to yourkinkyfriends.com. Your Kinky Friends on FetLife, just one word. Coming up, Nico Noir and I have a show called Good at Being Bad, also known as Gab. It should be really fun. I'm really excited about it. And with that being said, remember the cardinal rule, everybody. Be cool, be kind, keep an open mind.
Thank you for inviting me. This is very
Thank
cool.
you. Thank you, Goddess Medusa.